Hi guys, welcome back to TedRedwood Gaming. I'm Ed, and today is Season 6, Episode 4 of FCS in Football Manager 2018, and there's a bit more of an English twist than normal to today's episode in the Netherlands. So today we carry on our Europa League Group I, just had to double check that, campaign. We're playing Stoke City at home, which is exciting. We're on the schedule page, so we can catch up pretty quick as well. So you'd have seen me play Zenit, which we won 3-2, gone the last couple minutes from Sarajevo to seal it. They tried to come back into it with a goal of the season contender, if you remember that. But no, we saw them off, so that was nice. We then played UNA in the first round of the Cup, who are a non-team. Kevin Varela, who has been truly terrible recently. These are the first goals of the season he scored. Yeah, he scored 5 times in the first half and then just didn't fancy it in the second half. He got a perfect 10, which is the first one I've seen on this Football Manager, this season's one, and it's devastating that he got it when he's been so poor apart from that. So yeah, obviously, I could show you the highlights of that. I'm not going to. I don't really see the point. They were just pathetic. And then we followed up with a 2-1 win over Twente. We probably should have scored a couple more than 2, but it's better to score than to not score, I suppose. I'll show you one of the goals at least. So Michael Marta is back from injury at last. We're having an issue with wingers at the moment, which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, I'll show you, I don't know, I don't remember what the goals look like. Let's show you Montgomery's goal when I learn where the button is to show his goal. So hopefully it's not a long highlight. Again, this is so smooth, I'm wondering if it's even recording properly. But Balde, Van der Kuylen, so Van der Kuylen's sort of acting as our left winger. Montgomery steals it on the left as a tackle comes in, and just Montgomery, no one closes him down. So there you go, there's a bit of action, sort of between games for you. So our wingers, let's get into our wingers quickly. So Apai and Sona are both injured. Apai is back in full training tomorrow. Sona is still out for 7 days to 2 weeks, so that's not long. But it's hard. Van der Kuylen is an outright left winger, and he's not terrible. I mean, I know he looks awful. I think it's just something with this formation just seems to bring the best out of players. Because even he's looked okay when he's played. I don't think the rating's doing him justice there. But I don't think he's particularly going to make it, whereas we do have 2 fullbacks. So Van der Linden, who I'm currently playing left winger, who cannot play there. I've been tempted to train him there, but I don't know. I don't want another Apai on my hands. I don't want to do that for everyone. I kind of want him to concentrate on being a defender and getting to his potential there rather than bringing down his potential by making him learn another position. I think that's how it works. Let me know if that's wrong. So yeah, Van der Linden and Van der Berg both need game time, both left backs, both teenagers. They're both really good. So Van der Linden's currently playing as a winger, and then Van der Berg just comes on to cover that position basically. Aside from that, Vasquez, I was tempted to drop him. I thought this would be the season I'd drop him, but his average rating is way too good to do that. So speaking of the squad, this is the squad for today. I've sorted through the subs and all that stuff. So we've got Moose in goal, Birmingham, Ives, Cohen and Vasquez at the back. It's a toss-up between Azevedo and Ives. Azevedo, again, another of these players who doesn't look that great on paper. He's performed well for us in the years, but Ives has more potential and is better currently, so let's go with him. In the middle is Balde and Keenan. Keenan had a little injury, but he's back now. Silva on the right, Van der Linden on the left with his half greyed out or half grey star. Sorry, he's his left back, but he's got as good a stats as Apai has, if not better. And Apai did fine out there even when he couldn't play it. So hoping for the same for Van der Linden. And there's Marta and Montgomery up front. Gretesen has just come back from an injury. I don't really want to rush him back in just yet. So he's on the bench, but some nice green arrows on him. And Varela, decent attributes on the lad for, I'd call him more of a poacher, quite frankly. Composure's not great though, and anticipation isn't great. Pretty good really good physicals apart from stamina, and he's got finishing and heading. What more do you need? I mean, passing would be nice, a bit more technique. Yeah, just I think we got him a bit late, unfortunately. Couldn't quite mould him. He's apparently not going to get much better, and yeah, just those 5 goals. It's just not good enough. So we are going to get into the game. I've got no idea what to expect. I know I need to clear my cache again. I'm fed up with clearing my cache. It's boring now. So they look like what they look like, and I do apologise. Blame SI, everyone else seems to. Oh, I look like a mug now, don't I? They just look pretty normal, although my face packs have again disappeared. I'm having a nightmare with the OneDrive on this computer, but that's another story for another time. So, Stoke, we've kind of covered their team before. Patrick Roberts on the bench, so yeah, they've got quite a few players that still exist. I don't know what to say. Show me what you can do to keep our run going. It's hard, man. I really don't know what to expect here. This is... I mean, Ajax, Feyenoord, PSV, I mean, Heerenveen this season are ripping up in the league. You'll see them in a minute because we are going to do a double today. But yeah, Heerenveen probably come into that category. All those sides, I am wondering if they are that much worse than Stoke. Silva with a corner. Van der Linden hopefully picks up the ball. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Ball down the edge. What was that? Just started dribbling really slowly. But yeah, if Stoke aren't that much better or worse than those teams, then we do stand a chance. They look on paper to be a tiny bit better, just have some better individuals, but hopefully we can do a job. Although Gribbin goes through and smashes it against the outside of the post within the first 20 minutes of the game. I thought it was a lot quicker actually. I thought it was the first couple, but apparently not. Stoke are coming again though immediately in the middle, which don't seem to be getting onto them. They're dribbling very slowly, taking all the time in the world. This is when we need our big players to step up. This is where it would have been really nice to have Sonner on the pitch. So I think a full strength side, you never know what we can do. At this stage, I would really happily settle for second in the group. Again, without seeing, is it Pacos Ferreira? Whoever we're the last team in the group that isn't Zenit. Without seeing how good they are, I would be really disappointed to not go through the group. Just over the bar. But I don't know, you got to be positive. You got to be positive. We've defied expectations for years now. Well, 2 years. But before that, it was terrible. If you watched before that, I feel so sorry. Silva is on the right. It was a raking ball by Van der Linden. It found its way to Silva at the back post, who just couldn't quite get it past their keeper. This corner should come to nothing, and probably will. Shaqiri, I can't believe he's still there. That is crazy. Way too good for that team in real life. Joel Campbell released down the left, puts it over the bar. They've had a couple of clear-cut chances. I'd say the one where they hit the post was also a clear-cut chance. I think they should feel aggrieved not going 1-0 up. We're bossing possession. But that's kind of it at the moment. Why do I hand that to my assistant? Well, once you done it once, you might as well carry on. Just because it takes too long and I'm way too lazy. Time is ticking away. We have 21 minutes to go, and Keenan is struggling a bit. Fortunately, Saraiva's on the bench, who's pretty much a replacement for him. Birmingham, he's on a yellow. I don't really want to take off Birmingham or Vasquez at this stage because they're both so solid. But Marta hasn't really done it. I can't really take either of those off. Van der Linden can come off. Don't have a left wing on the bench. How stupid am I? So Ivora, youngster, can come on. I'll show you him quickly. He came to the academy. You would have seen him before. He's 1.5 star current, 4-star potential. He's fine. He's 17. He might make it one day. Today's not that day, but what else can you do? Montgomery can come off for Gretterson. I was tempted to bring off Marta because Marta, he doesn't tend to make something from nothing, unlike when Darren Kane used to be here. Marta plays well and scores, or he just doesn't show up. Ooh. Stoke starting to pile on the pressure a bit. Worrying. But yeah, Marta, he just won't show up and score and do nothing else. He has to be playing well. And Stoke are struggling a bit for fitness. And we do have a free kick from deep. Cohen gives it to Silva, who's playing on the left, because I didn't put a left wing on the bench because I'm an idiot. Because we only get 7 subs, I just forget to change it back. Marta back heel to Evora, and he puts it well over the bar. Not unexpected. If it was Silva, maybe he'd have had a bit more composure because he's a bit older, more experience. Take it wide, swing it in. But it's looking like this is ending 0-0. You know what? I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy. So yeah, 0-0 draw. Where does that leave us in the group? Let's have a quick look. So Group I. There we are. So 4 points. Our Pacos Ferreira must have got a last-minute winner. So it looks like the games against them are going to be pretty crucial. Because I fancy us to be Zenit again. We don't know what's going to happen with Stoke. We got a bit lucky to come away with that with a draw. So this Pacos Ferreira game is massive. But yeah, we get 106k, so that's awesome. Our finances are just looking crazy. 19 million. At some point, hopefully, I'll get reinvested in the club. Hopefully through youth facilities and stuff like that. We'll see. So next up is AZ, and I will see you on game day. I mean, this is interesting. I just got a couple of news items. Sorry, just straight after. We set a new gates receipt record. 12,500, but I was pretty sure the stadium we went into was a 7,000 seater. So I've just had a look. So our first home game of the season in the league was against Canberra. We played at the Sport Park der Eichelhof. Our first European game was at the Stadion de Villers against Anderlecht. 7,000 attendance for that. And all of a sudden, who do we play? FC Twente were at the Eichelhof. And then Stoke were at the Goffert. And it has 12,500. So maybe once we're in the group stages, we had to have more of a capacity. But our stadium, this is really bad. I could not tell you the name of our stadium, but it's not done yet, as far as I'm aware. Even then, it was only meant to go to like 7,000 or so. Yeah, 7050. In fact, it's being completed in April. By which point we're probably going to be looking at another stadium anyway. Yeah, I just thought that was quite interesting. I'm not complaining, it gives us more money, right? Right, so we are back. I have not looked at the team at all, but I see they're all struggling a little bit. But we've got an international break after, so I'm not too fussed about rotating. Sona's almost back, but Apai is actually back, so he can come in for Van der Linden. What I might do is give... who are we playing? AZ. I don't know how good AZ are. I'm actually going to give a break to Vasquez. I'm going to put Van der Linden there. Just want to make sure we're trying to develop players. It can be hard during these times to just forget about it. I'm going to try Hassan for Birmingham as well. But yeah, apart from that, I'm actually pretty happy. Anyone? Oh, they've got loads of people struggling on the bench who have just played a youth game. So we will bring some of these dudes onto the bench who aren't struggling so much. Go on backboard, you can go on ahead of the expensive Uruguayan I signed, who's quite good, but is never going to play because he's not a regen. So yeah, the team for today. After all that, actually, Lindau, and you go for Xavier Moose. So we've got Lindau in goal, we got Hassan, Ives, Cohen and Van der Linden at the back, Baldain Keenan in the middle, Silver and Apai on the wings, and Marta and Montgomery up front, the double M duo, dynamic duo, multitude of mothers, I don't know, something like that. So as playing a 4-2-3-1, is he called Fred Friday? That is a name and a half. That is superb. He's been there for ages. I don't know how I didn't notice it last season. That is a superb name. I'm happy with that. Come on, you can keep the run going. Mumble, mumble, mumble. One of the unfortunate things about a 0-0 draw with Stoke was the most amount of wins I've managed in a row in the whole series is 6. I've hit it about 3 or 4 times now. And beating Stoke would have given us the record of 7 wins in a row. And we just didn't quite manage it. It's a bit of a shame. But we've got to watch out for AZ, who are coming forward pretty early on. And this might be the problem with playing Van der Linden and Hassan at the back. There's something about the way Birmingham and Vasquez position themselves where they make so many vital tackles and strong tackles, and it just sets us up. I mean, that was the worst throw I've ever seen in my life. Fortunately, it goes wide, otherwise I'd been angry. Yeah, something about the way they set up just really suits the team. Their tackling isn't amazing. Nothing about them is amazing, particularly. Just they are so solid, it's ridiculous. It's quite nice to see Apai back in the side though. Obviously he lost out because Sonna came in when he was injured, and Sonna just did really well. I felt quite bad for Apai, the man I made into a winger. But he's got a chance to show me what I'm missing now and keep Sonna out the side when he comes back. Now the highlights, so as on the left hand side in their half, they're on the halfway line now. We're not really closing him down, we're allowing him a lot of space in the middle there. It might be because Balday's new, so he hasn't got the partnership with Keenan. I think that does make a little difference in the play style. In case he's not used to formation, things like that. But hopefully he'll get there. Van der Linden, no free kick from deep. Now has it back on the wing in open play. Look at me being so normal and saying normal things. This has been a terrible episode of the commentary, I do apologise. But Apai now on the left, we're keeping it quite nicely. Balday now, what can you do? Simple pass please, he does so. We're being pressed a bit. This would be a good time to actually have a bit of movement up front. This is where Darren Kane was a complete hero. He would move deep and wide and get the ball. But Montgomery isn't quite like that, and Marta sort of isn't either. Marta's better at creating just outside the box, I tend to find. That was a huge ball by coming up to Montgomery on the wing though, trying his best to be Darren Kane, crosses it in, Marta is there, Apai with a header, and they fail to clear it. I think there's a missed clearance, and Jotson Marta in the box, who finds the back of the net. Perfect. Something did come up between the games. I can't remember who he was praising. It may have been Varela or Vasquez, but former favourite Darren Kane praised them. It's like, you've been gone for a month. Why are you praising him? Oh, he's played 4 games in Serie A for Palermo and not scored and got like a 6.5 average, so more for him. He's also on 1.5k a week. I would have offered him 7. Like, he would have got the full. Well, he wouldn't have had a choice. I wouldn't have had a choice. I would have had to pay him that. I would have paid him like 10 to keep him. That's his own problem. Hopefully he just fails and ends up on the loan list. Speaking of loan list and Irish strikers, Sean Kelly, who went to Gladbach, he got loaned by, I think it was Augsburg on transfer deadline day. I did look at putting in a bid, but his wages were 9k a week, and that's a bit high for us. There's a huge ball up. Montgomery is through. Montgomery hits the bar. That's a shame. I'm enjoying Montgomery being back. He's not quite the same as Kane, obviously, and Gretson definitely isn't the same as Kane. I feel like Gretson offers more of a threat directly in front of the goal because he's still quite slow. But Montgomery seems to get a bit more involved, even though Gretson has better attributes for that. So I'm pleased with how things are going. No one particularly cares, and we carry on, and hopefully at one point I'll just stop babbling. As now with a throw-in, Marta does incept it and then just decides he doesn't fancy it anymore, giving it as another chance to build. Nice tackle here, be good. Hassan with a big hoof up. Montgomery gets around the back of the defence. Marta is free in the middle. He doesn't decide that he wants to use Marta. Montgomery goes it alone, and it's a great goal. Apparently Hassan's assist will be replayed again and again. For how... I mean, does he mean that? I don't think he means it. I just think this defender gets caught out massively. Great finish though into the far corner. I wasn't going to play Montgomery this season. I thought I'd just bring him in as an option on loan who at least would be able to find the net occasionally if needed. But he's performing really well. I think he's potentially our highest average rating at the moment. Overall, not in the league. So we'll see. We'll see. His contract's up at the end of the year, so watch this space. Who have we got on the bench? Anyone? Not particularly. If I bring on Stevic. No, I'll bring on this guy. I'll show you him in a second. We'll move Van der Linden there, as is tradition. So this is Serovac, who is a centre-back, Serbian, 19, 3.5 star potential, 2 star current, so not great, but he could be quite a solid option, like backup option, if he reaches that potential of 3.5. So I do want to give him some game time. Again, not great, but he'll be a good cheap backup. In addition, we are going to bring on Gretterson for Montgomery. At the end of the day, he isn't our player. And then finally, who needs some game time? Stevic hasn't played for a few games now. Van Buren must be wondering what the hell has happened. I mean, he's injured at the moment, so that's something. Yeah, he was sort of first in line for the throne. Started the season, if you remember, our defensive mid who came through the academy, who I signed on a whim because I thought his stats weren't that bad, his attributes. Got to start saying attributes. But the assistant didn't rate him. I thought, let's bring him in. 2-star current now and 4-star potential. Yeah, he started the season, but Stevic is a tiny bit younger and with better potential. And then we brought in Balde. So he's found himself third in line all of a sudden. I do feel for him. Because I like him. I like my own players. Especially ones that come through the academy. I think I need to focus on that. Because we do have a few of those guys. So yeah, There's so many Van Ders, aren't there? Van der Berg, the left back. He came through our academy. Van der Kuylen came through the academy. Whoever I was just talking about. Well, I can't remember his name. So many Van der Bees. Van der Linden crosses. Greterson is there. Drops a martyr. Doesn't quite finish it at the first time asking, but finishes his dinner on second sitting. Does that make any sense at all? I don't think so. Is it Van der Buren, the name of the defensive mid? Possibly. We've got another highlight. Hassan thrown in their half. Martyr is taking up the winger position for some reason. I don't mind it. I've set up their player instructions to do things like that. Keenan with a terrible ball through. And as might actually score a goal. No. Clean sheets. We don't see many of them in this Oz team. We see a lot of goals for us, but we don't see many clean sheets. But this could be a rare one. I know we just got one against Stoke, but ignore what I'm saying. Van der Linden on the edge. Martyr's there. Martyr scores. Is that his hat-trick? It is. This is 50th league goal for us. Wow. I quite like that a lot of these players are players we've had for a while. I thought this is the end of the game highlight, but that is rocketed into the corner. Martyr loves it, and that is surely the end. We've absolutely smashed AZ Alkmaar 4-0. I'm never going to get over this team. I hark back to the Crew team and the Fleetwood team that I had on, 14 for Crew and 12 for Fleetwood. But this is different. Those ones you chop and change to get up. League One to the Premiership is completely different. This, I'm just going to show them off quickly because I love them so much. So if we have a quick look at just the guys who are here at the moment, I'll just run through quickly. Obviously Lindau's new, Hassan's a youngster, but the ones that sort of got us up, was Iverson? No, he was here last season. But Van der Linden's been here a long time. He was one we signed on a free. He was a regen that just appeared. And he looked really good, so I fancied it. I wish I played him a bit more, but I still think he's going to reach that, or at least most of the potential. Again, a good backup option if all else fails. So he's been here. Rodrigo Silva, we signed him 18-19. Came up as an agent offer, and a couple of teams were interested in from like the Spanish second division. I was like, sure, I'll take a chance. And underwhelming. 3 appearances the first season. Then I decided I was just going to develop him. And he's a bit old to properly develop, but he doesn't look very good. But look at his ratings. I think it's purely the work rate gets him through most of it. And then I guess he's pure pace, work rate, can cross and dribble a little bit. Good enough first touch. And that just seems to get him past everyone who tries to tackle him. He's 23 years old now, Uruguayan. I don't know if he has another nationality. He does, thankfully, Spanish. So we'll never have to pay him $7,000 a week unless he's that good. But yeah, $275 a week for another 3 years. That poor guy. So yeah, he's been here forever. Apai we signed in the Jupiler our last season there. Converted him into a winger. He dominated that. He's doing really well so far this season in the 2 appearances in the league. Martyr. This guy. So he's played 88 games, all for us, 50 goals, 29 assists. Crazy. I can't even believe it. Let's look at Montgomery, who's apparently improved his current ability a little bit, which is interesting. So bring him back in, he gets better again. So yeah, we only had him for a season, 21 games, 5 goals, but he's come back and he's doing pretty well. Did not make 1 appearance at Bruges. I did put an offer for him. They want 800k and then he wants a decent whack. So I'm just going to leave it till the end of the season, see if his contract runs out. Moose, who's sort of in and out of goal at the moment with Lindau, I am going to keep him around, but he is going to play as well. 221 games. I mean, most of that's for Ross, isn't it? Take off 33 of that overall, so 187 games for Os in my tenure. Just stalwart, absolute stalwart. Azevedo's been here a while. He was here for 2 seasons in the Jupiler as well. Again, still performing. David Birmingham, was he here even before that? No, he has 2 seasons. But he is an absolute... I can't believe his average rating is that low. He is so important. Maybe he is better than I think he is. Jeez, I'm not giving him the right credit. But no, he is disgustingly good. I do have the option to trigger his extension as well, which I love. Wow, backboard. I'm sorry, I didn't intend for this to turn into a bit of a nostalgia trip, but there you go. I think he was one of my first signings ever on Os, and signed him on loan because he was big, he's tall, he's a tall lad. Did okay. I thought, I'll sign for a free. Dominated. Sort of went off the boil a bit the following season. It's his second season for those that didn't watch it. So the first season Jupiler League was here, we were just atrocious. I couldn't figure out formation or who to play. Second season, we won the second period to go into the playoffs, and then we're just terrible the rest of the season. The third season, we were terrible most of the season. And then just managed to pick up in like the last 12 games. We just became unstoppable. And yeah, but we were really bad for a lot of that season, hence the average rating there. And then we dominated the Jupiler League that year. Should have dominated more than we did, but hey ho. But yeah, backboard was ever present during that time. Or as ever present as he could be. He was injured a little bit, but he only 6 appearances last season, not likely to appear this season, but he did score that goal in the European playoffs last season, which made me so happy. Vasquez again, I think he's a 2 season in Jupiler. Yeah. Superb, absolutely superb, these boys. Anyone else hanging around there? No, not particularly. There's a few youth guys down there though. Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. I mean, this is hard to look at to figure out what we're doing next. So we've got friendlies in purple, Europa League's in blue, Cup's also in blue. It's horrific, isn't it? So next up for me is PSV, who I'm not going to bring you. I'm going to bring you... Ooh, which is a hard one. I might just have to spread it over a couple of days, because I'm not going to be able to do one Pacos Ferreira game and then the other one on the same day in the same episode, but maybe I'll just record that on one day and then just carry on and record that another day and stick them together, which is terrible, but I'm going to do it. I think it's more interesting in the league right now, seeing as we are just smashing the league out. We should leave it on the league. So yeah, Pacos Ferreira double next episode. This is the league at the end of the episode. We are 7 points off here and Veen, but we do have a game in hand. So they're just bossing it again, which is most upsetting. But hopefully we can just keep up the pace towards the end of the season this time. But if you've enjoyed that, please do smash a like, comment, subscribe. I'm sorry I've gone on way longer than I thought I would. Hopefully I'll cut a load of it out. But yeah, more OS on the way, other projects coming up as well, some more FM stuff eventually, once I'm finished with episode 1 Pod Racer and Sonic 2, which I'm yet to start, but yeah, keep it on the download. But yeah, thank you very much for watching.